100.5 FM, Nassau, Bahamas. It's time for Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna. Yeah, we got to empower, educate, and encourage your women to motivate you through whatever you've been going through. We can talk about it. We ain't back to no judgment. Don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Lane. It's whatever you're feeling. Right. Stay in your lane. You're fucking up and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Your lane talk show. It makes you feel good just to know we're not alone. No one will be like the lady that gets I want you to come up and down. Just don't be afraid of your heart. Don't be ashamed. It's not the same thing. Your lane. It's one you're really right. Stay in your lane. Your heart is dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's your lane talk show with Coach Trish Hanna.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to your Lane Talk Show with your coach Trish Hanna, broadcasting live from the beautiful Nassau, Bahamas. It's about 85 degrees today. It's not that bad. We had a little bit of rain showers, and so I guess God is saying, hey, let me cool off, the streets a little bit. Let me cool off the environment a little bit. Give y'all some little scattered showers. But I didn't have an opportunity to drive the scenic route with the beaches. I normally do that on our way here. But I know earlier, what was that yesterday, the beach was packed. I mean, filled with people. We as Bahamians, we're starting to love our oceans and beaches and sand much more. I know for some of us, we'd be like, oh, we live right there, but we don't go, or they'd rather go in the pool than the beach. But to each its own. To my first time listening audience, thank you so much. For those who are listening for the first time, thank you and welcome to Your Lane Talk Show. Your Lane Talk Show was created to educate, empower, and encourage women of all ages. I also want to honor our male listeners. Thank you for tuning in today. Please go ahead. I want you to tag a friend, but of course, we'll talk about that later. I want to talk about last week's show, episode 98, Greek Life Unveiled, the Spiritual Risks of Pledging, Part 2. We had with us Alexis Rhodes and Kayla Hamlet, two friends who made significant changes, life changes, I should say, from pledging in a sorority to renouncing their pledges. This is the thing now, believe it or not, because people are now becoming aware of the spiritual implications with that. Now, of course, you may be like little tilted, like, what you talking about? That what? Yeah, go check out the show. All right, it's on YouTube, Coach Trish Hanna. While you are there, please like and subscribe. In episode 98, Greek Life Unveiled, the Spiritual Risks of Pledging, Part 2. All right, you get to hear it all. You hear their journey. You'll hear the reason why they went through the various convictions. And of course, there are so many other people who took that route of denouncing and renouncing, believe it or not, as the as people are becoming aware of what they're doing. They are trying to just disconnect themselves from things that will perhaps, in some cases, jeopardize, destroy, in some cases, their lives. All right. Now, if you beg to differ, that's on you. That's between you and God. I've never pledged, but I'm only hearing the various um, testimonies from those who have and their reasons for coming out. And based on what they're telling me, this thing is spiritual. This is beyond just what they see naturally. All right, that's on them. That's their story. You can listen to it and then have your very own convictions. All right. So today's show, I just trying to get quick. I want to get to these guests so bad. So I'm trying to talk as fast as I possibly can. Today's show is dedicated to unveiling the hidden realities of domestic abuse. Yet we are celebrating the extraordinary resilience of survivors. Today, we have the honor of sharing the courageous journeys of two remarkable women who endured the harrowing experience of domestic abuse at the hands of their husbands. For years, their voices have been suppressed, maybe back then. I don't know how long it took for them to actually come out to say it, but I'm excited to hear them talk about it today. Their pain was silenced then and years back, but guess what? They're opening up now. No more will they be silenced, and they are only a small representative of so many women that have come to me, believe it or not, since I took out this flyer, since the flyer was posted. There were so many women who came up to me and said, "Me too. I was there. I was a victim." And these one, I mean, not to say it like that, but there's a colleague of mine that I never knew. There's a client of mine that I never knew. There's a friend, a sister in my army that came out. I never knew. People are coming out. People are saying, yes, I have been in this. However, they've never spoken. I've had people who said to me, hey, I'm willing to speak. I'm willing to share my story. And then I had someone, well, two persons who said to me, I'm out of it, but I'm still afraid to share. Yeah, okay. When that time comes, if that time comes, we're welcome. And it may not even be this platform, it may be another platform, but hey, God gives you the ability, the courage to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. And in this deeply moving episode, we will delve into their stories of survival, my guests, exploring the moments of despair, the turning points, and the unwavering strength that led them to reclaim their lives. These women have not only overcome immense adversity, but have also chosen to break the silence and speak out, turning their personal suffering into a powerful force for change. Join us as we listen to their voices, understand their experiences, and learn how they are using their journeys to inspire and support other women who might be facing similar battles with the upcoming event that they will be hosting this weekend. I'm excited to hear about that as well. This show is more than a testament to their courage. It is a call to action, a beacon of hope, and a community of solidarity. Together, let us break the silence of domestic abuse. Call a friend and tell them to tune in. Tag a friend for those who are on Facebook. Share this live on your page because someone needs to hear their stories today. We are live on Star 106.5 FM dial, channel 976 on cable, and you can watch us live on Facebook on Your Lane Life Coaching Facebook page to view us. Your Lane, episode 99, Breaking the Silence, Survivor Stories of Domestic Abuse, is brought to you by The Perfume Bar, John's Shoe Store and Accessories, Your Lane Life Coaching, Chef Boyer D. Spaghetti, obviously delicious, secretly nutritious, distributed by Asa H. Pritchard, Hellman's Mayonnaise, Bring Out the Best, Make Taste, Not Waste, distributed by Asa H. Pritchard, and Libby's Vienna Sausages, distributed by Asa H. Pritchard. I'm excited to welcome our guests. We have with us in studio Anna Carter and Rishanda McPhee. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us on Your Lane Talk Show. Listen to me, I'm excited. Before I even get to asking the questions, I want you all to talk a bit about yourself. We're going to start with Rishanda. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been married, and anything else that you want us to know.
Hey, good evening. My name is Rishanda Matthews. I'm currently 25. I'm a mother of two. The garden of my younger brother, he's still 15. What I enjoyed going through the process of the abuse, what I now going on the process for, my 5 years married. Within the first year of marriage, the abuse became worse. So we were together for almost 5 years. But in the first year of the relationship, abuse occurred.
Okay. So you answering all my questions before I tell you. Now you like I just tell us a little about yourself. I know that you said that you're married, you have 2 kids,
Yeah.
you're 25, that's excellent. All right, so we're gonna stick that, but trust me, everything you just said, we're gonna say that we want you to say that again. But thank you so much for joining us, Anna.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anna Carter. I myself am a mother of two. I have been, well, still am married, got married in 2009. Our babies are the same age, 4 and going to be 5, 4 and 5. Two boys. I have a girl and a boy.
Girl and a boy. Listen, it's amazing how you. I want to know how you two connected before we get to the questions because, I mean, share how did y'all get in contact with each other?
Well, for me, Shonda is, she goes on live on TikTok. And I also, we both have a platform where we tell our story on TikTok. And I was just praying and I was like, you know what, I want to divert myself to where what my purpose is and surround myself with more people of that. So I was just scrolling one day and I saw her talking and I stopped and I got engaged and then I messaged her and I was like, we need to do this. And the funny thing is, before we even meet each other, we did a woman empowerment live on TikTok together. Like I think it was maybe like 2 days after we met, we planned that. We did that Saturday. Then we met that Monday and planned our whole event together.
Wow,
The same day we met.
that is so amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. Okay, so now, Rashonda, tell us a little bit about your background and how you met your husband. How you
Okay.
first met.
So I did it in 19, no social media, being young. So the individual he contacted me on Facebook. Then from there, how the relationship went up pretty fast. And I don't feel pretty fast now because of what I know now. But then I wasn't, so grounded in regards to how a relationship works. So about the fundamentals of the foundation or foundation of a relationship or a healthy relationship. And eventually conversations were held and so on and so forth. And I was just trying to get my relationship with God on top. So I set a prayer to God. I was very specific in regards to what I wanted to partner, so on and so forth. Not realizing then what I know now at the end of the year, yes. So, me and this individual stopped the relationship. That was June of 2017. By September 2017, we were already living together. 2018, had my first daughter. 2019, I got pregnant with her. 2018, sorry. I got pregnant with her 2019. The relationship went up a lot. Yeah. But even before having her, the abuse happened. And he started verbally approaching. So started even calling my name, so on and so forth. And I kind of paid a blind eye to it because that's what I saw going on. China.
You going ahead of yourself. I asked one question. Listen, no, but I'm glad that you're doing this. But then I still want to pull back because I have Anna to answer that same question. So I didn't know how you met. And so I'm actually going to ask you about those red flags and stuff and when that first happened. Okay, that's all right. She can take this whole show by storm. Okay? All right. So we just got to wheel it up. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you met your
Well, actually, my husband and I went to school together. The funny thing is, we had a friendship, and none of us remember it. When we went on Facebook, we looked and we had conversations. I was in the Bahamas. He had made me page and all I could remember it. So I went to Orlando and I saw him in the elevator, and I was at the hotel doing nothing but message. And here we are today. Here we are today.
Right. Okay, so y'all went to school together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this case, did you know at any point that you were going to marry? Did you have an inkling, during that time? No. Okay.
Not at all.
Now, Rashonda, were there any specific, and I know you started saying this, but this is how I formed my question, were there any specific moments or red flags prior to marriage? So of course you started to share that. I want to know before his temper, did you see, like you said, he was verbally abusing you. So let's talk about that. How long into the relationship did you get the verbal abuse? And then what other red flags were there prior to marriage?
I would say within the first couple months, I guess the relationship was a bit fast. So within 3 to 4 months, we were realized that you want to become a live with them.
Yeah.
So everything started to show itself much quicker than I expected. And this was a verbal abuse. And and also being controlling in regards to not want me to wear makeup or not want me to wear certain clothing, so on and so forth. So like those are red flags. That's all right.
Okay, do you mind sharing? Is there gonna be some things I'm asking for the I don't know how transparent you want to be today,
Very
but
complete.
do you mind sharing some of the things that he was telling you while you were still dating or living together?
Well, it's call me the B word or not, and that word triggered everything in me that eventually allowed me to cut that. For me, tell me something that you like, call me anything besides child and God. So it's putting the brains in that area. So yeah, it's really good. I remember a particular time he told me one of my kids and my brother were like, this is much younger than him, but yeah. But my brother, was like 10 or 11, he said, for the street. So at that time, I was like, me answer back at that time, I knew where it would have led. So I just,
Was there a point where you called him names as well, like back and forth prior to
yeah. But not in the beginning of the relationship. Eventually, after I realized, okay, this is a little bit normal. So my normal income, my second income was the just be out. Now it's the right thing.
Have you ever been in a previous relationship or any relationships where you got verbal love with the I'm surprised.
So it's the first abusive relationship.
Okay. So Anna, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Uh, what were the red flags for you? And did you see any temper tantrums prior to marriage? Were there any red flags?
Yeah, they were. I think for me, I saw them, but I think coming out of the abusive relationship and looking into what happened while it was going on, you get to see them more clearly. While you're in it, you don't see it. So for me, but just like Shonda said, I think my relationship escalated fairly quickly. Within 4 months of dating, I was already pregnant with our first child, and in that time, there was something that happened when we were dating that I'm looking back now and I was like, why? It was like he, so it was a situation that happened where I didn't really want to have um, um, adult activities until like I was in a committed relationship. And like he did that, he was like, yeah, we together. And then a week later, he was like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. And then he's like, yeah, you want to see something? And he called a random girl on the phone. He's like, get here now. Like, call her out her name, everything, get here. She's like, I'm going to be 10 minutes. And then he hung up the phone and said, let me take you home. And now looking back at that, it's become.
These things you just watch on the movie.
Yeah, my life.
We ain't get there yet. Just under the surface.
That was literally beforehand.
Yeah.
And so, for me, I always, the amount of things that I went through in my life, I always have like a filter in front of it. So I always expect things to happen. So I was like, cool, drop me home. And then we just, I don't know how we became friends. And then it just flipped back into the relationship thing. So that would be like the first thing that I saw that was like, and after the month before I got pregnant, I told him that I thought, no, it was a time when he pretended to be a somebody for like a whole day, a different person. I thought it was pretend. No, I don't think it's pretend. It was a whole different person. He was D'Angelo for the whole
He was calling himself.
So he was it, and like I was speaking to him, and he just was like, I was like, so what are your brother gonna do? He's like, brother, I don't have a brother. He's like, what's your name? I was like, I told him my name. He's like, so I thought it was playing.
Right.
Now looking back 5, 6 years later, and all the different things that happened, I'm like, okay, no, that wasn't playing.
Okay. Where y'all find these people from? Okay. All right. All right. All right. So you got the fact you didn't really get abused prior to marriage. That's what you're saying?
Not the physical.
Not the physical.
No.
So it was just what?
It was more mental and verbal.
What were some of the verbal things?
Before marriage,
Before marriage.
no. Before marriage, it happened because I had a son before marriage, and I remember being pregnant and then driving the street. Like he kicked me in the car, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna walk, and then he tried to drive me in the street and so forth. Like it was a time when he said something to me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave, and he grabbed me. I had like fake nails on my hand, and he grabbed my hand and tried to pull my nails off my hand.
Listen, I'm in my divorce right now, and I have 50 pages of it. So no,
I could go on and
because
on beforehand.
oh man,
So
man.
I look at myself now, after writing the affidavit for my divorce, and I'm sitting there like, how does someone keep getting you to come back after all of these?
Why is she asking my question? Why?
Sorry.
All right, they want to take over, y'all.
I mean, this is what we do.
Listen, Shonda, listen. Okay, so we got where he was calling you, you know, the TCH and all these other things, and telling you to the streets and telling you about something embarrassing you, verbally abusing you. All right, let's fast forward to will you marry me? How did that come about? How you get back with him even after he didn't say all these things? How you get to say I do and yes I will? Let's go. How was the proposal?
Okay, so look at it now. I was manipulated, to be honest. Think of it now. The reason I said it is because it was after my little girl. She was about to be one. Because we got engaged December of 2019. Yeah, I'm working with the month. So at this time on, we were not on talking terms. And
We are
marriage
still
is a
living together.
no, we're living together. Okay, ready. Marriage and the family is something I always wanted. Right. So I felt like he knew what he knew I wanted to get me. I always wanted to be married. So when he came back with a proposal. And me being who I was back then with the mindset, okay, this might work out. Let's try it again. Let's figure it out. I went with it. We planned at the time was around Christmas time. So we planned family, photo shoot, then we the things should have been our red black. And at that photo shoot proposed. Be there on my chest, like crocodile. I was crying because I was like happy.
Did you have premarital counseling?
No.
No.
Because the first, and I said, if we had premarital counseling, we wouldn't do it.
Listen, let me.
The person would have married us, but they would have.
No,
Based
pause.
on all the things we went through.
Listen, Linda, listen.
Listen.
Now, for those who are listening now, okay, you know, and I ain't even get there yet. I just have to stop and say this. Premarital counseling and coaching is paramount, okay? It is needed because because love is so blind and the heart is deceptive, deceitful, you can't see outside from the outside. You're only looking in. You're only looking into what you think will happen, or even in some cases with the enemy may even put a veil over your eyes. So you will see the red flags and you will still continue on going in that relationship to the point of marriage. Somebody with sense, somebody who's God fearing, you need to find to ask for premarital coaching and counseling so that you can go through that process to see whether or not, and in some cases it's not always like that either, because you have some people who've done the coaching or counseling and then they still slip through the cracks. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's 100% valid, but it helps a whole lot to get at least some mediator, a professional mediator, to ask certain questions so you can see the mindset of the other individual, so that that person outside looking in, if they are honest and God-fearing and spirit-led, they can say, hey, I think y'all need a little bit more time. I think y'all need to look at this a different way, etc. That is paramount. Paramount. Okay, please, let's continue. You wanted to continue with that?
No. So, like I said,
the proposal. You said yes.
Yeah.
Then the
My
marriage
family
came.
was not existing when they found out, because at that time a lot of already happened, already happened in regards to their abuse. Nobody abused, and at the beginning part of it, because I was so in love, quote unquote, I did most of the abuse in the family.
Yes.
So most of them didn't know I was getting abused.
Yeah.
Until eventually happened in front of them. Happened in front of them one time.
Before marriage.
Before marriage, yeah. So when I got divorced, no one was in agreement with it. When I got it, I'm trying to get married. And that I was saying to them, la la la. But eventually it went from 0 to 10,000 real quick. I think like after the post, it's like, okay, to be honest, let's turn the heat up. So it's just on first.
I know. That's why y'all like two peas in a pod.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I try to figure out
out
what y'all what's going on. All right. Should I let her say something first? Yeah. Let's answer. I'm taken aback. All right, so you've seen the views, etc. What made you say yes when he proposed, and how did he propose?
Uh, like Shonda about stories, it's just a manipulation and knowing of what you need. For me, I'm always alone. I didn't have anybody. I think during that time, I was homeless. I had just gotten cancer. I had cervical cancer and so forth. So he just came to me. He's just like, I love you. First of all, he came to me earlier and he said, next year, April, we get married. That was my proposal. I never had the proposal. He just said, next year, April, we get married. So when I had all of those different things happening, he just was like, I love you. Why wait? And that probably was March. And we got married that August. No, May. We got married that August. That was it. And a lot of people say, how can I not see the signs? Because I had nothing to do with the wedding. He planned the whole thing himself.
No, nah, that can't be true. Because women plan weddings.
No,
Men just know
because
they need to
I
go
have-
rent a tuxedo and some
No,
shiny shoes,
I showed up.
and then they just show up.
I showed up because I don't believe, okay, for me, a wedding is a party. A marriage is something different. We can have a marriage from a JP, but if we're not going home to our own house, and we're not going home to money coming in from other, we don't have to work, money coming in, we shouldn't spend thousands of dollars on a party. We could have a renewal 5 years later. But for me, we could have go to the JP and be happy because he was building a house. That money could have gone into supplies for the house. That was my thinking. So he was like, oh, I need to have my wedding. I need to take off my God and my first dance. So in compromising, I was like, okay, you do it, but I don't have the money for it. So you're going to have to do it. And I think after my cousin, now don't judge me. I always wanted a black wedding dress because I don't believe in traditions. I didn't get a piece. So we're going with white dress. And I went to my cousin's wedding in July. It was a month before mine. And her dress was black. And I was like, okay. Because I was putting on a crappy dress. I didn't care.
Right.
And then I just was like, you know what? I need to, I'm going to get married. It's my only marriage. Let me at least wear a nice dress. So I found a seamstress and she made a dress for me in 3 days. And so the most I had in my wedding was what we were wearing and my dress.
So
That's it.
based on what Shonda said, were your family aware of the abuse prior to your
They
marriage?
did not know until 3 months after we got married. And yeah, so they didn't know anything at all. My family haven't even seen anything. They just hear of the stories because my abuse was in his family home with his people and in close behind closed doors because if you meet him, he is the most delightful person you ever met.
Well, I'm not calling him a narcissist,
But
but most
most
narcissists are
abusers
like that.
Yeah.
They are the shiniest,
I tell
most
everybody he's the best
gentle,
friend.
delicate, charming, Prince Charming, and then they do that.
But when they say in the movies or in books and so forth, when they say you see the darkness and the fire in their eyes when they turn and they switch, it's a switch. Yeah, it's so true. That sweet person, that person that keeps leading you back in. Yeah, that one who you met, the one who you fell in love with.
Yeah.
And then it's that person that just has nothing just in their eyes but hate and anger and so forth. When they tell you they're gonna kill you.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. This is a lot to take in. We even ain't get to the part yet. We even ain't get there yet. But let me tell you something. Oh man. Oh man. Listen, for those, please, y'all, please share this page. Please tell people for you. Be surprised the amount of marriages and relationships. Because we ain't just talking just because you ain't gotta be married. You in a relationship now where the boyfriend kicking you out the car and calling you names and everything but a child of God in a relationship now. Go share this on your page because somebody needs to, who's scrolling through, who's probably crying from in the corner somewhere right now on their Facebook, scrolling through, can come on this broadcast and see what we're talking about so that they could be delivered and set free. All right, so we're going to take a quick break from the radio portion. Stay tuned.
fresh, floral, and fabulous are the scents of spring.
Thank you so much, Facebook audience, for tuning in. We are just delighted to have you on board. If you do have any questions for any of these ladies, go right ahead and you can ask and post your question. I would advise you also to share the page so that we can get people to tune in so that they can tell a friend. Okay, we want to get as much word out about how to be delivered from these different abuses today. Whew. These have some good things. These have some good things. These have some God, Lord. I have you right smack in the middle of all these different things from the time you've been doing the show. You have some things. I know. The hardest part is I wrote something. I wrote something for that to the commissioner and everybody. I have one of my friends. So excuse me. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, we have with us two guests, two courageous, resilient guests with us in studio, Anna and Rashanda, who are victims or were victims, the child layout, snap, snap, were victims of domestic violence, and they're here to share their story. They're here to help those who may be going through the same thing, to be delivered, to break yokes, to grant wisdom and insight for those who are tuning in so that they can know how to get out of the muck. Yes, we hear this all the time. We hear stories from Whitney and Bobby and Tina and Mike and this latest one with um, Puffy and Cassidy and all these different stories about domestic violence and abuse, but we don't know until it actually hits home. We hear the stories from we just think, okay, yeah, they got money, so they'll be all right. All they got to do is go buy some shoes and they'll be fine. All right. But what happens when it comes to your house? And then, outside looking in, most people judge those who are going in like, she must be stupid. I don't know how she get still coming in, still in that relationship. Why is she still there? Oh, but these ladies are going to tell you. They're going to talk to you. All right. And with the time that we have allotted, we're trying to see if we can get as much information out as possible. Ladies, you on air? Like they have it there, take over there. We have a lot of information. Yeah, we want y'all to share this. We really want y'all to share. Now let's talk about the various things that was happening. So y'all got married. Charlotte, we talked to you first. You got married. How long since the time of the actual ceremony did he start either verbally or physically abusing you again?
Maybe in February, we got married.
Okay, so you never, the ink ain't dry on the paper yet.
It was just like the only thing changed was the fact that I'm just really good with this person.
So what was the first thing that transpired?
I don't know. What did I think before? You think before? Or
You fight him, or he fight you?
Oh,
Y'all fight each other.
I was on the back time to do on some older time.
Golden.
Because like I said, that's something I saw on my blog. I was okay. My mind was okay. So shortly after.
So okay, so now that this your husband, he's hitting you, you hitting back, right? What happens after that? Do you go and report him? Do you just just sit it out,
No.
and then you
Yeah,
just,
the sit-out part.
and then y'all go make love again.
I like to make love part. The reason that is because my mind overthink. I overthink a lot.
Yeah,
So when I feel like I'm being, not feel like I'm being so when I'm being disrespected, I eventually turn away from a certain extent emotion that just in my mind that just in. I thought the women, a lot of us who are down there are going to be working, right? So I was now in a state of okay, I'm living with this person just like we were living as neighbors. I'm living in two different rooms. Honestly,
Hold on. How long in the first month, second month of your marriage?
honestly, we were sleeping in those different rooms before marriage because my at the time my dad was living with all of us. So it was me, we already had a little boy at the time, so it was four of us. And he's 6'2", but yeah, 6'2", maybe like 200 something pounds. So he's a tall, good sized dude. So it's like just me and the two kids. So I guess there's quote unquote comfortability that we had the room. But after the marriage, because people didn't stay in there and then so like we could stay for most of the relationship, to be honest.
So there was no intimacy.
So that's what we call it intimacy. But that was just those situations are like
Right.
Yeah.
So okay, so a couple of months, you said a month right after y'all the ink ain't signed on the legal papers, the documents yet, and y'all have done start fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you never reported it.
No.
But you bring it out. Eventually y'all started talking again. You weren't mentally there, but then y'all still started talking again.
And I think maybe if I'm not mistaken, maybe like March, April, he came to me saying one of the off. I said, remember this class there, I was sitting there with my little boy in my eye. He's sitting there on the floor with a little girl in his hand. I didn't, these are the conversations, I want to have. I said, be very careful what you ask for. Like, I said it very nonchalantly.
Right.
He was like, okay. I think within that same conversation shortly after, we went on social media because we had a public relationship. So it was like, the YouTube, we had a, what do you call it? What do you call it? Facebook relationship. In the sense of the relationship.
People being involved in what y'all do. They see what y'all
We
doing.
did the YouTube and all these other stuff, right? So we were well known. So he posted a long status on Facebook and was saying, okay, people who have Y and Z, and this is to the boss, telling the boss. And at the time he was supposed to post it, he was standing there, and I was like, sitting in my
How long ago was this?
almost now, 3, 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was in the same couple months when we got married.
Yeah.
I was in the living room. He read up, yeah, I didn't much. So I knew I was listening to myself mentally, bit by bit. He posted it, and I told him, I said, you know, we're doing social media. The only thing I wouldn't want you to do with me, those issues, don't publicize our
Right.
Yeah. And that's something we agreed on at the time.
Yeah.
And he did opposite. So I just took that and I was like, okay. But it took a while, yeah. Like, yeah, that would have been.
No, I am enjoying your story because even in the midst of all of this, you see what he's doing, and y'all are living in separate rooms, and I didn't know that y'all had a public, relationship. People knew, but that's another thing. Get people out your business and stop talking, stop posting, stop telling everybody your business. It's unnecessary. You are putting unnecessary warfare. Marriage is already a warfare in itself, okay? With the enemy knowing that, hey, covenant is serious, especially when it comes to the relationship with God. And for you to just publicly just throw things at what y'all doing and this how y'all doing and how he touching you and how he kissing you, don't do it. All right. You have, yes, you do have some witches and warlocks out there who are quite jealous of your relationship and will do whatever means necessary to ensure that it's separated or you're separated. All right, just some little nuggets, words of advice as I continue on my journey. All right. Okay, so Anna, how long since you said the IG? Because as far as you're concerned, you just wanted your black dress. Ain't no big deal for you because we got bricks to buy. You know what I mean? You trying to build your house, doing it,
Because we went and live in his growing up bedroom.
Yeah.
With 4 of us.
No. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just get this over with because you want to do it and I ain't want to do it. But since y'all have had this agreement that it's not a big deal for you, but you still do it anyway. How long ago since then has he either physically or verbally abused you?
After we got
The marriage. No man. Because it ain't even gone in the system good. They ain't type it in the system.
2 weeks. He threw a tantrum because I had to rearrange the bedroom to fit 4 people.
Right.
And he was like, I want a divorce. And it was like quite serious. And so we got married in August. October 19th. I remember because I got fired because I was going through so much. And I'm a lab tech that requires a lot of focus.
Yeah.
So because of the distraction and the stuff I was going through, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Like I wasn't messing up examples, but I was like writing something twice and stuff
Right.
like that, or not writing something. So I lost my job,
Yeah.
and then this happened twice. And so I lost my job. Last day was the 19th, and I went away. I my mommy asked me if I wanted to go with her. And everybody's like, "Oh, just get married. How are you leaving your husband for so long?" It was because I'd already started getting right afterwards. It yeah, 2 weeks, and when I came back from away, he cried. He sent me a message when I was away. He's like, I changed. The funny thing is, the weirdest thing that I can always remember, he said, "Oh, I cleaned the room. There even everything in the room clean." His birthday, I came back for his birthday. I'm a very sentimental person. And when I got in the room, not a thing clean in the room. Not a thing clean. If y'all know the playpen, it ended up being your closet, right?
Yeah.
So the playpen was still full of clothes. I was like, this man lied in my face. And so that was November, the beginning of November. And by the end of November, I had the ASP helped me come out the house because he sat. I was sitting in the front room, and people don't believe this, but for me, my abuse was never triggered. I never triggered. Because I watched Lifetime, and I tell everybody how I survived Lifetime. Whenever I screamed at that girl in the movie, saying, you could have reversed, that was me. I do everything I scream at the girls do. So I was sitting down in the front row, and he just turned to me and he said, I was thinking, I just think,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about killing you when you're sleeping.
That's what he told you.
Yeah. And so for me, Lifetime, I was like, why? Keep all your emotions inside, girl. You gotta survive.
Yeah.
So I was like, why? And he just was like, da 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 da. So I had the normal conversation. I said, okay, be calm now, be quiet, let me get up and go to my baby in the room. When I tried to get up, he stormed me to the wall. And not fire in his eye, he looked in my eye. He had me pinned up.
This is the second week.
This was no, this after I came back.
Okay. No, tell me, what did he do on that second week, and then tell me
It
what
was
he
just
did.
verbal. It was just
Verbal
like, you
abuse.
a horrible mom and this and that, doing a good wife and this and that. I want a divorce, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. So it was just a lot within that
No
first
harm,
time.
no fist fight,
No,
no punching up like Oshana, because she's my type.
no,
no.
not in the first week. Probably like down in September, October.
Right.
I got body slammed.
Oh boy. All right. So when you came back, because you thought everything
No.
was fine,
Yeah.
everything was calm, he said he cleaned the place,
Uh-huh.
and you started to living together again.
No, we were never.
You
Okay.
just went
So
away.
I look at the calendar. August, in September, October, this is around that time before I leave, there was abuse. Because I got pregnant, in September. So I got married in August and got pregnant in September.
Okay.
So I was already pregnant. And around October before I left is when physical came because he worked a night shift and it was 12 to 8. And I told him I'm a very panicky. You are an officer.
Right.
So I'm very panicky. I want you to at least text me when you get up at 8 if you're not coming home. So when I roll over, you're not there, I'm gonna feel like something happened.
Pause.
What happened?
Y'all just heard what she said? Because maybe it skipped.
What happened?
Y'all heard what she said? Y'all know that it. The pause when she said you are a what? A what?
Officer.
I can't hear it. So just real quick, I just wanna don't call no names.
No, I never called it.
So the people who's supposed to be protecting.
Yeah. Maybe you want to get into that now?
No, hold on, just making sure. Okay, so domestic abuse or violence really doesn't matter. Your what's the word I want to use? Job title, not for lack of a better word. It really doesn't matter. You could be a priest, you could be a police officer, right? So it doesn't matter.
I feel like it's higher with people who feel more safe in the
have more power.
Yeah, in the outcome of what would happen. They already feel invincible. So everyone and their friends are all doing it. So who are you going to?
So this ain't just a one instance.
No.
Okay. Go back to what you're saying. Go.
Where
We
did
want to talk
I
about
left
that.
off?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just told him, I said, hey, just let me know when you get home, let me know let me know you're going, because like I said, he was billing, so he said,
Right.
I'm going to the house.
Right.
And so, and I called him, I couldn't get him. 1 p.m. I got him. And he was out till Wendy's with a female friend, and he's like, oh, I see you here. And tell me listen, any wife, when they husband, God, you really call me, that they with you out to Wendy's. I lost it. I was like, how are you out here? I thinking something happened to you. I
Right.
check in the news. I check it. I with this news,
Yeah.
everything trying to figure out
Calling the hospital.
where you and so he got mad. Like he got upset. He got home. He just lost it on me. And so he was like, what he would do throughout our whole relationship was he would threaten me by mouthing. So the minute everybody turned their heads, he'd be like mouthed to me.
Right.
And
So
so
people be in the room with
he
you.
will be in the room,
But
but no one will be
he-
looking. So
right.
he'll be looking at me and he
Right.
was like
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So he looking at me and he was telling me like that in his mom's room. And I just was like, I walked up to him and I was like, I'm tired, I'm scared of you, da 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 da.
Well, his mom is there. Yeah.
What I did it for? He grabbed my throat, slammed me into the TV, the wall,
Come on.
everything. Right there in the bed. Slammed me in the TV, the wall, everything. Bear in mind, I'm pregnant. Wow. Right? And then he grabbed me and two body slammed me. And then everyone, because we lived in, like I said, his family home. So everyone came and like pulled him off. And like Shana said, like you have to still have to try to fight for your life. I always my whole platform is fighting for my life.
Yeah.
So after that, all I had nails on, all my nails were broken off, bloody. I had marks on my throat, everything. And I heard what hurt me was that if I'm in a household with people, you would think that they would try and help you, but they didn't. And I heard his mom on the phone saying, "Oh, he didn't even touch her." And so now I had nowhere to go and live. So bear in mind I was homeless beforehand. So I'm just like I just stayed in the house and I just didn't interact with nobody. I didn't interact with no one because you guys are gonna let this man kill me in this house and y'all gonna go to the officer and tell them so when the officer come and y'all can tell them, well, she do it, and he was like this, like so I just didn't do anything. That's how we got to the wall thing. The wall thing was in the end of November. So we had a few some August, September, October, and November is when I just felt like when he had me up in the morning, he's like, you know, I'm easy to kill you right now. Now I tell you, I wasn't talking to his mommy. So I used to call his mommy, and I was like, I called his mommy name. I was like, yeah, she didn't even come. She didn't even move.
I didn't even know. I'm serious. And you laughing.
I listen, when they say you gotta laugh before you I got the tissue bag because I already prepared.
I have a problem.
I gotta laugh because looking back now, it's just I don't laugh at it because like what else I could do?
So anyway, we can talk about support and all this other stuff a little further down. But I want to know, like, so let's talk about okay. So he tried to choke you. He body slammed you. What are some other things that he did to you?
Well,
Not just that one time, but throughout. So, because what happened after this happened? I mean, did you leave that? I know that you're homeless, but did you go out after that?
No. So this is October. So I told you like in October I left.
You left
because he told me the night I went to go away. I went to my mom. She was ticket. He told me that he would kill me and find me and kill my unborn child. Like I was like, well, I'm gonna go away. He's like, well, I'm gonna find you wherever you go, and I'm gonna kill you and the unborn child. And even at the time when I was on the wall, when I was on the wall, I prayed, and this is what I know I was done. I prayed, and I said, God, this unborn child is not gonna live because I wasn't, you know, you have to be 4 months in October for the child to live. I said, but please protect my baby, the youngest one in the room. And that's a prayer I had. And I said, I never want to have that much fear or anything ever again. And this is the first time I ever report anything. I didn't report anything because he had me so brainwashed. He's like, oh, I'm an officer. So if you go now and tell anybody, I could lose my job, and so where you could live, how you could eat, and how a child to have any food, and all this type of stuff. And the funny thing is, he wasn't even doing nothing.
OG.
He wasn't even doing nothing. So for me,
Because from what I know, y'all in your family house. I mean,
the
his
family house, but I tell you, I lose my job, and he wouldn't even feed me. So he wasn't doing nothing. So I didn't even know how I allowed him to pretty much be. But that November, the end of that November, when he had it from the wall, I gone like a movie. Like I tell you, he left. I went into the room and I say, I cried, and I think about it now. I try to pull myself and cry, but I was like, God, I can't pack everything because I gotta run. So I packed the little small bag, the baby bag, with clothes for my baby, and I put him in my hand, and I go and walk outside, and he walked outside at the same time, and I run to my car. I pull my car open, I throw my baby in the car seat, I try to reverse. He come out there, bring that door open, jump on me, bear in mind I'm pregnant, fight me for the baby, so I let the baby go. Because I said I didn't want the baby to get injured. Yeah. And when I got out the car, I said, give me the baby. He said, no. He running with the baby. I left and I left and I was like, I drive straight to Elizabeth Station and I reported it. And you know, talk of it, when I got there, this body was officer.
Oh, gee.
So I was like, I ain't talking to them. I ain't talking to that person. That's body. And they talk and they call the supervisor. Then they called the ASP for the station that he was in, and he said he would have a meeting with me. And I went to the meeting, and the ASP he just was like, "What do you want to do?" I said, "You move at the house." I'm afraid because no one's there to protect her and so forth. So he said, "You know what? I'm going to send a squad." The same squad that my husband was working on, the operations squad. He said, "I'm going to send the operations squad to help you move out the house." So I waited till they came on at 11:10 to come there, and they just was like, "Hey boy, what you saying?"
Oh, true.
When we get there, when we get there, but I got all my stuff out, and I moved. I went to my mom's house. Yeah, I never left the marriage. So that was the funny thing. I didn't actually break up with
We
him.
can talk about that right now. Whoa, Shonda. I don't know. I please tell me it's a little better than this situation. Because where we left off, what was happening with you and him? Y'all were still sleeping in separate rooms. What happened? You know, what's been going on since as the weeks and the months?
We were posted. We posted on social media.
Right.
July, he left. For a short time.
He left.
He left, yeah, for a short time. And within the time from him leaving, social media on like 10 times. So he made me believe that he get kicked out. By the time if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the first or second time. But when it happened, whenever he left, he went on social media again. He posted, he was like, how he got kicked out, all his stores and stuff was kicked out. All this other stuff. I didn't know that he was posting these things until an individual messaged me, like it's our relationship public. Right. So the individual messaged me and they was like, you see posting X, Y, and Z, I'll get to work, but you calls and messages and stuff, you posting X, Y, and Z. At this time, I wasn't bored at all. I think I wasn't bored is because this was a time I set relationship back on track of thought. So in the sense of like God gave me peace. Like everything was happening wasn't bothering me the way I thought it was bothering me. I didn't react it, I didn't say nothing, and I wanted to so badly to a certain extent. And I was like, okay, this man is he's trying to do, like, dim my character. He's trying to make me a bad person because based on what he would have mentioned on social media, he made me believe like, okay, so when a relationship ends, especially public one, people think, okay, in order for this to end, someone cheated. Right. Most of the things, right? So with him posting what he posted on social media, people are automatically going to cheat it. Right. And my mind was like, okay, Lord, it's going to get old. Right. I don't know what else I think. I just want to get old.
Don't care.
Right. It's going to get old. Yeah. So he left. And then shortly, and then about July or so, in about August, he decided he wanted to come out. He decided he wanted to work with the board move. 10 times.
So how did he say that he wanted to come back? How was it romantic?
No. Oh, kind of. So I like dating. I like to be dated, right? In a relationship or whatever. I've been a most women. Right. Yeah. I love that or whatever. So he came in and before you first left, I thought we have to be confident. Which is, I mentioned like we need to be confident. He said, "Oh, he's against it because you don't believe that you believe in God, you need confidence on it so far." It's okay.
He said what?
If you believe in God, you need confidence.
If you believe in God, you don't need counseling.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his logic. So I really didn't push too much of it because I already know this conversation eventually going to harm and so forth. So when he came back with all of those things I told him that I wanted. So he planned the other day. He said he wanted to go to counseling, so on and so forth. He said my past he can't go to counseling, all these other stuff. Yes, God, right? So me being still gullible, which I thought, okay, when past that stage, all this happening. He still being gullible, he came in, he came back into the room, and he got me 10 times. Because at the time, mentally, I was like completely gone. I was done with the
So he
relationship.
came in the house and what? Like, what was the first thing he did that he said he wants to work on?
But he came out, he went to counseling. He got the counseling about that. He was in the two sessions.
Right.
I was in the process of coming to two sessions. He spoke nothing about the marriage. He spoke nothing about what he did to you, what
So
I
what the
did, what I
counseling
did
was
to
for?
you. Well, for him, it was like a time to talk. He found other topics to talk about. I was thinking that she was like, so why are we here? Why are we here?
So with sense counseling, or when he came back in the house, what was the abuse?
Verbal, physical. Eventually it got to a point where we would go late in the evening or go out and would leave, would come home to around 11, 12 o'clock. Around that time, I'm trying to take the kids to bed or prepare everybody for the following day. And he come in the house with a big ruckus. So now everybody got to come up, go to bed, wake up. He was keeping him. And it got to a point where my little girl, I think she was maybe 2 and the little boy was 1, but he just started walking. So he was 1, he just turned 1, and she was about 2. And he came in the house and he was sitting at the end of the room bed and I was laying down. And I'm like, as he was talking, he could talk you to the point where you want to choke him.
Right.
He's very annoying.
Right.
But the point is very annoying. So he would say certain things, and when he's saying certain things, he's trying to make you believe that you're the issue.
Right.
He's trying to manipulate you. Okay, this is the reason why and you're the reason.
Right.
So I lay back in the bed. I'm like, okay, cool. I pray to myself and I say, Lord, just let his mind shut up. Please let him shut up. If the time wasn't here yet.
Yeah.
So I already know myself, if you continue talking, I can hit you because you annoy me. Yeah. Right? So I trying to like pull back. Eventually, he won't talk to me. He won't talk to me, so show me. So the thing
But you didn't did you say anything?
Nothing.
So what do you think he came or talked to you to choke you because you weren't saying anything?
Because I wasn't dealing with all trying.
Right, you wasn't answering him back. Was he asking you questions and you didn't answer?
Yeah.
That because okay, go ahead. Yeah.
But I think because he was so used to me reacting,
right.
No longer gave him the reaction he was looking for.
Right.
Right. He went off me. My little girl got up. And when she got up, at the time she was in the front of my little brother. She came in the room and was talking to me. She choking me. His back was to the room door. I was facing the room door. And as she walked in, me and my little girl locked eyes. As she choking me. I'm trying to like gain the breath, little piece of breath I have over my breath. I'm like, hey, she there. You did not stop. I had to break my way all the way in order for me to go. And it was like it's like situation for that lady. People that come in and he with the rockers, and then with them coming in, he's basically harassed me for that. And at this time, I said, I'm done. But I don't want you to hold me. Yeah. So this particular night he came in. I guess the kids were sleeping too, but the little boy I thought was sleeping, but apparently he was in his mother room. And at this time, he took me in the punch room. Very bad. He took me in the punch room. He was off my night. And we were hiding the kitchen sugar down. Yeah. So he put me in between the stove and the sink, kind of. Behind there, the little boy was in my hand, and he came to me. And he started up in the front, and he put a knife with the cover. He said, that was the first time, and I was fighting, so I was scared of this man. And you have a vast difference in height and size. That was the first time I was ever scared of him. Because the look in his eyes at the time scared me. Yeah. Scared every piece of me. And I said in my heart, God, please don't let this man hurt me. Please don't let him hurt me. Because people take care of my baby. Yeah. That's the only thing in my mind. The following morning I had to go to work. And in order for me to not get hurt, I had to give myself to him. I felt like a dirty dog. Yeah. I felt like the stomach hurt. Yeah. And that's all I wanted to get ready to work. And I told the at work. So I was sitting down on the front line dealing with clients, not be able to fully function because I'm not in my right mind. No one knows that starting to work when I from the highway heading to work in the big steel lamp post in the middle of the island. I said, run myself in one of these and one of these poles. The first thing that hit my mind was your baby and children. Who would take care of them like you? Of the only thing. My mind wasn't on God at the time, honestly. My mind was thinking to take care of babies like you. We were very, very young. So situations like that happened. And eventually got to a point where he left in October 12, 2021. I remember the date very specifically because yeah, he left. I remember the date very specifically because that's the day my nephew died. My nephew died. So he born on the 10th, and 2 days later he died. That was my sister's first child. So that evening, everybody went by my sister. We started holding us on and so forth. And we came back home, but I came back home. My kids was pretty late, like around 9, 10 o'clock. I came home. The TV in my living room was gone. It's like my home was invaded. Yeah, but invaded in a very classy way. So nothing was over the place besides the thing was over the place.
That he needed.
Yeah, that was it. So at the time, I just said, I was trying to get my life together with Christ. It wasn't there yet. Yeah. I think that's one of my cup. I could, I cut and make a word Sunday. And I was like, how would you take the TV? And that was my kid at the same time. Yeah. He's like, you just shoot the AC. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. You gotta go to the wall, off the wall. So I said, was best me. So ironically, you think about it now, the room that he was staying in, he had a small little computer looking TV. That's how small it was, the screen. And the TV took about over 32 inches. The TV, when he left in the room at the time, was in the cupboard, was maybe about like 24, if I'm not mistaken, or I think 24. It was a computer screen. And I saw it in the cupboard or on the shelf in the bathroom. Maybe he wasn't trying to put it on me, okay, it was something. But he already had plans to say, okay, if I took this thing to the wall, I'm gonna put a plan on it, at least you got something. So he had that in preparation, he's gonna leave. So I came, and everybody say, but Shawty, what is this in the chair? It was in the chair by the front door. And I was like, but it's time you was being screaming on that show. No way. So he already had mine, in his mind, it's okay, yeah, this is my help. But he was preparing prior to the house to buy all of the supplies. Yeah, he had all of his apartment supplies.
So he left, and since then, has he returned?
No.
Since then?
Oh, yeah, July of last year. Tried to, July of last
year. What happened July of last year?
At this time, I was ready. I could literally now, at the point in his presence, I'm no longer the children. Right. So he told me on a particular evening, the some weird reason or the movie asked me to come for the kids. I go to the group because that isn't normal. Right. So he asked me when to come for the kids, when to take them to the movies. I said, okay, sure. And I'm gone. Out of the midst of that, he asked me, he met me, he said, you okay? He said, I heard you are like going part that conversation. I said, okay, this is devil. Something up. Because you asked me, I'm like, you didn't have to show me do it. Yeah. You asked me, something was a red flag with him. So I said, okay. So he said, you need to bring me. I said, no, I did. So he said, it's another conversation, but I wanted to know with the person. I said, I'm not going to put and I said, no, you get that. I said, okay, do the conversation. He came there, but that particular evening, he sat in the car in front of my home. We sit in the car, we from the conversation, people tell me, oh, let's go and tell him this, and God say, when we come up together, he don't want us in this apartment, or he don't want us in our separate apartment, but in a different apartment, he want us family together, and God showed him how he was to be the father and the husband of the home, but I was being more of in my masculine, because he's being honest, like he was allowing God to show him who he was, basically. Right. Just telling me, I said, nah, that is about a word. Did you believe? No, I didn't about a word. I just said that, I was like, the reason why I didn't believe it was because within the time I couldn't go in, like I say, I increased my relationship with God. I had quality time with God. Yeah. And when God started downloading to the my spirit, it was nowhere in the picture. Okay. And when God started telling me to my future, it was nowhere there. I was like, okay, what you're telling me is contrary. Yeah. The Holy Spirit can tell me there's confusion to me. And the God isn't a God confusion. So I told him, but he's like, well, think about it. I took it out in the car, my arm folded, I didn't budge a word. I said, okay. That night, I said, oh, what's that night? That I just put it down. I said, because I know I was running there, I could cry it all. Because the reason why is because I took the time to heal, and that time was not oh yeah, I just figured out what was my issues and to heal. Having to heal is having to relearn yourself, having to put yourself together, and it's a long process. Yeah. Right? I cannot allow no one to come up in my face and put me back where I came from. Yeah. When I walk inside, I automatically cry, and I say, Lord, I can't go through this again. And I prayed about it, and the following day, I received the confirmation of so I wanted that a week prior to him trying to cut my, I keep on hearing the Holy Spirit say, do not look back, don't look back. And he keep on giving me the scripture of when he told, when the angels told Lot and his wife, them not to look back, and God of Gomorrah, and surely to put us out. And that scripture keep getting me, I keep on hearing the word, do not look back. So when he came the week after, and as soon as that conversation ended, and I said, okay, hey, I can't do it, I just want to be grateful parents to kids. I told her don't look back again. It was just like God was just preparing me towards the come. So with him trying to come back there, he did, but I felt like God knew I was ready. Right. So that was from last year, July. Last July. And he hasn't approached you in the In
Hannah, or
regards to
how
the relationship, he mentioned like conversations were had over the phone. He was all that well. Yeah, you know the issue with this and so on and so forth.
So
But
nothing like that.
no,
Right. So Anna, in your situation, okay. Okay. All right, my producer's saying just go on a quick break, which is fine. So we're gonna go on a break and then I'm gonna ask you some questions about your process of healing, and the journey that you went through, like what was keeping you, you know, prior to where you are now, like what kept you, because you seem very strong now. You know, there's something or someone or some entity, some being, some community, something is keeping Anna. I can't wait to hear about something else. Let's take a break real quick. Y'all are doing so well. Y'all are doing so well.
it had many questions.
Hmm? No questions. Everybody just watching.
So many will go right back when they come back.
Mhm.
No, but the thing is that you do it on live a lot. And we have these conversations. And I try because my platform is similar to festival again, is educate and promote things. And so like a lot of we can't go to go where our children going social services is happening. No one knows it. I have the whole story about that. That's why I'm telling this because there's no one there.
You can talk in the mic if you want.
Sorry, because you said there's no one there to help you. Social services tell you they have a dental program, but the people, if you find someone to rent you and they're telling you that your two babies is too much for efficiency, so they're not renting to you. And then social services only are gonna pay your renters agreement for 3 months.
Yeah.
So you have to
After
find
that,
something
you
that
have
you
to find
can pay
something.
afterwards.
Yeah.
So now the only thing they allow you, people allow you to get two beds. You can't afford a 2 bedroom on minimum wage.
No.
And then social services, they don't never have no space for their free help places. At least I got in one because I knew someone or someone.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I got there. When I got there, they said, go there and tell them this is the place you want. And I went and they let me go in. And I was there for 3 months and they called me and they was like, hey, understand a permanent situation, you need to figure out what you're doing. So when you see these women staying, they staying for a reason. They staying because they got
They have to live
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Because what will happen if I go? You know, especially if it's a stay-at-home mom or something like that. They ain't never worked before or. I'm dealing with so many different emotions now. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm dealing with so many different emotions because these are only two of the many, many, many women who are going through domestic abuse and violence in their home. And I want to just put a stick in something I know how people go, oh, well, men go through things too. Women abuse men too. Yes, I understand. That's on another show. Okay? All right. Just letting you know. This show, we're dealing with women and the domestic abuse that they have to deal with, as they go through this process and their journey. And we're trying to find solutions as to how we can get others who are facing similar situations to find a way out. All right. So just before we took a break, we were talking to Anna. And Anna, what were we discussing? Because I have so many questions for you. What was the last thing that we were talking about? Why did it stay? That's an interesting question though. Why did you stay?
like I said, looking back, writing my GPA application, looking back, it was straight manipulation.
Mhm.
It was straight pulling off of my genuine um um love and feelings. It was just a thing. I remember I could fast forward just for example. I remember that one of the last times I spoke to him, he came back and like let me show you all. It's almost like the movie that Raza got. Have you ever seen the cartoons where the guy has a little sparkle in the eye and this? He turned and he's like, you ain't want da 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 da. And I closed my eyes and say, stop. You ain't go, this ain't gonna work on me no more. And it was for me having to notice what he was doing.
The trend, the cycle.
And within the domestic abuse community with education. We call it the domestic recycle
Mhm.
because it's always like they love bomb you. They tell you like what Shonda said.
Yeah.
I changed. Let's go to counseling.
Yeah.
2 weeks is always my max. 2 weeks is always the timeline for your change to when stuff gonna happen. And so he just was doing that, and then it would be a little thing, a little thing, a little thing, a little thing, fill up, and then boom, and then you like you distraught, then they come back and love bomb you. And in my situation, I've always believed in family. I have 2 boys. How am I, a woman, going to now build? I always wanted to make sure that their dad is around and so forth.
Yeah.
So all of that would be at the tie. And something that I always teach, what I said happens in our community, is our community teaches us to say, oh, a trying man. You know that saying, no one's perfect. And you, the wife, you're supposed to stick around. And so those things they're playing in your mind, but something that I try to teach people, they don't ever tell you when to walk away.
Right.
They tell you, oh, to stay and so forth. And that's just helping people. They hold on to that. They stay in the relationship because, like he tell me, oh, at least I trying. Or when he would give $20, it'd be like plenty more money, get nothing. So it'd be like those type of stuff would be the things that was there. And like I said, I didn't have any support.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody, and I have 2 babies. So it was just the cycle of that. But then I had to like me and Chanda have the similar situation.
Yeah.
To the T, to the nail, because for me, my holding was my children.
Yeah.
I did not want them to think that this is what love is.
Like, yeah.
I didn't want, because my son, my oldest is, you know, you have some kids that never was a baby. Like my son was always mature.
Yeah.
9 months he called on me wiping my hands when I was on the floor after getting abused. And he called on me because my baby stopped talking at 9 months and so forth. So he just said, Mommy, don't cry. And I tell you, I said, nope, that was when I started. And I said, I cannot allow my son to now go into society and do this to someone else's daughter.
Yeah.
So my fight is to always try and make sure that I create good human beings for society. And if I'm gonna constantly allow them to see this happen, because now you don't know, a lot of people don't know, but I can't work anymore. NIB, and y'all know NIB don't never give nobody nothing. I have, when it comes to disability.
Hey, hold on.
sorry.
Your Lane Talk Show is not liable nor responsible for anything that our guests say on the show. Do not hold me accountable.
Yeah. So you know, everybody knows it's hard to get like a disability. I've been with inability. I cannot work anymore because I have a disability. How did you get this? Well, I had a car accident at first. And I promised I'm stupid. Told him that if I was to have another head to the head, I could die. And he, in a pursuit of trying to kidnap my baby, which he does, I was trying to get my son, and he looked back at me, and he just went in my head, and that was it. Like the symptoms that I had escalated tenfold, and I haven't healed from them as yet. I just did a recent MRI because it escalated to seizures and so forth. But I completely where I was. Yeah, so I just, for me, it's just now with the injury and so forth, I have to like help my kids, my son. Oh, this is why I was saying God injury. My son goes to people because the thing is for me, I always tell him, same thing with Shonda. I always tell him, do not argue or anything in front of the kids. If you want to do something, do not do it in front of the kids because no matter how old they are, they still, my baby remember things from two in detail. He was like, Mommy, you remember when you know, my car accident. He said, when you hit the people and you was in the street crying, because I was homeless at the time when I got in my car accident. My whole house was in my back trunk. You won't believe the lady who I hit hugged me. Because I was distraught. I said my life is over. I have to go to work. How I get to work? My whole bathroom full of my clothes and for my children. So my son now, he tells people if I have, because functionability is I don't get it a lot. I have to like it's a Rolodex of different symptoms that I have to deal with. Like I told you this morning I was crying. Like some symptoms I deal with And I just have to like take a minute, sleep and try and be better. I try to be better for the show today. My son would go to people and he'd say, Daddy hit mommy in the head. Oh, because he was holding him when he did it. Yeah. And so for that, I like that hurts me for the fact that my son has that memory and that could affect his functionality in this world in the future.
Okay, so we have two questions here. One is, would you ladies have stayed in the marriage if it was only verbal abuse?
Um, for me personally, I think I would say no, but I might have stayed longer. And now I'm speaking from the perspective of the old child, right? In the sense of not knowing myself, not loving myself, yeah, being very insecure. I would say yeah, the physical abuse wasn't present, but now, no, I can't do no kind of business. But yeah. I have to echo for my sister. Yeah. My sister. I feel like in this journey, I think we had a side conversation, and I said I am so if you're privileged to be strong. Yeah. I had to gain this. Yeah. And I had to learn how to love myself. Mm-hmm. I had to gain self-worth and so forth because I could not have loved myself and continuously allow that person to have their benefit, yeah, over me. Yeah. And so for that time I would have because for verbal abuse, I always tell him verbal abuse hurts more than physical. Because physical heals and goes away. But when the simple thing is he telling me that I'm not a good mother because I was working in the lab, doing all these extra hours, and the baby is a baby. He want me to cook for the baby. I was like, the baby is a baby, let the baby eat baby food. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you're not a good mom. And that's sticking my head till this day. Yeah. And so for me, verbal abuse is for me worse than physical. But the physical is what really drew me away out of the situation. So I don't know if I would have then, but now and being the person that promotes, and like I say, every day I get up, I gotta say, you're worth it, you love it. And I tell people I separate myself from myself. And I was like, I love her. Because she's so strong. Yeah. She's so this and she's so that.
Shonda, let me ask you a question. I know you spoke about self-worth. How did the abuse impact your daily life? Since then, and your overall sense of self-worth since then.
Um, for me, I think it's because I realized that, and I was mentioned earlier, I young kids wanted to. I had to realize that in order for me to teach them how to be great individuals, I have to be one. I have to know the fundamentals of being a strong person, of being someone that loves myself and know what that looks like. Because oftentimes we have self-love, we think about the other parents. We have a self-love, we think about okay, the nails getting done, being beautified, right? And I think there's nothing wrong with that. However, it goes down to your God, your character, yeah, down to your heart, how you treat people, so on and so forth. Yeah. So I had to get to that point of saying, okay, now you're not what you went through. I'm not going to allow the negative things of my past to take my teaching in a negative way. I'm going to use that. Like I always say, Romans 8:28 in that scripture, God works everything out together. Yeah. So when I realized that these things don't just happen to me, but they happen for me. It will happen for me to become better, for me to be the better mother, for me to eventually become a better wife to somebody else. Yeah. So stuff like that, for me to be a better person in general. So like now, a lot of people won't know my story unless I speak because I don't try myself to look like someone who went through it. Come on. When you see me, you look like someone like good. Honestly, I would not lie to you, and I'm not going to make myself feel good. When people speak to me or when people look at me, they say, okay, this girl got it together. Oh, you know. Yeah. I try to figure this out as I go, but I'm not going to look like what I go through. I always tell my followers too, because most of my followers are females, and I say, look like where you want, like where you want to go. Don't look like where you're at now, because I promise you, you look disgusting. In most cases, look like the person. I'm curious, like the person who wants to see yourself in the next 5, 10 years. And the reason I said this because when people see you, people address you based on how you address. Yes. How you speak and carry yourself. You address that way. So I'm not going to ever carry myself in a way of my life being in them or quote unquote them to treat me that way. Right. I cannot deal with that. So I would say all of that, I took all of that and allowed it to work for my good to become who I am now. Able to sit down and speak so confidently. So what steps did you take like to seek help and support? Was there any support for you during this time when he left, even though he was trying to come back? Did you have anyone to hold on to? Physical support, not really. recently is because I'm the kind of person I don't like to feel around them with big body. I don't like feeling sympathy for me, if that makes sense. Like, I want to carry my load on my own, and I know a lot of times you need the food, you need people around you, but I just want to carry it on my own. And
you
the only
carried it on
person
your
who you know, and I also felt like God had me in an isolation season of the afterwards because He wanted me to realize that it's only me that you need. It's only me that
Come
you
on.
depend on when it comes down to finances, when it comes down to bills below my head, right over my head. I mean, back months back in rent, all these like it was horrible. And God then eventually revealed to me that hey, the only person you need is me. People will be there, yeah, there were assistants, but nothing rare could have been life changing. Come on. So God was like,
I am your
people are there,
source.
but I'm the source. And that stuck with me from then to now because you know when times looking below me, I remind myself what he did then, but he's gonna do it all over again. And he comes through time and time and time again. And like we say in the nick of time, but let us be the perfect time for God. Let's be the on time for God. So it's like,
He makes all things beautiful. Anna, what about you? How I think that was the question I asked
yeah,
prior to. So where was your support? How did you seek help? What were you doing in that time of your healing process?
I laugh, guys. The thing that I laugh at the situation, it just crashes my coping mechanism. Um, support was me. I am a very resilient person. I'm a person that likes to sit back and troubleshoot. I always tell everybody that when something happens, instead of freaking out, sit back, find the positive, and figure out how you're gonna fix it. Doesn't make sense sitting in a situation, it already happening. So I feel like that is what helped me, and that's why I feel like because me and Shonda have that resilience that we see a lot of women not having. We want to share it and teach them how to have it as well. You have it's I feel like it's your surroundings. It's who you are. I feel like because we have people in high and low positions who are in these situations and they don't know how to get out. And
So what was your biggest challenge getting out?
I haven't I haven't worked in 2021. So and I think so and then not having nowhere to live.
To this day?
No,
Oh,
now I have somewhere to stay, but like trying to do and I was a lab tech. I went to school for 5 years and I can't I try to go back to work. I've been working from I was 13. My mommy I sent myself to work. So I'm always a worker and so for gosh,
I grind. I grind
so
a pound
for that to be taken
Oh
away from
man.
me, so being such a worker and an independent person, because I even went to college, I was like, I got work only thing in Jamaica, they was paying me $12 an hour, so that wasn't gonna work. But I'm a worker, and so trying now to do things, and my kids, I don't want them to ever feel that situation, even though they say, like, mommy, my son, he told me, mommy, I don't want you taking me to any fancy places anymore because you need the money for other things. My 5 year old. Like when I tell you he is so mature and it's like
Yeah, God always does that. He has a way, and it's always through the children. I don't understand. It's always,
I'm always joking.
yeah.
Yeah. He looks at the situation and he just is like, no, you don't need to do this anymore. Because we went to the Aqua Atlantis
Yeah.
for his birthday. Like I said, I don't want them to have a feel. Remember they had the $25 thing. So he was like, well, can we go back there? I said, no, we need to be expensive. And so like for me, that's my biggest challenge. But like what I do, Christmas, my tree people, you know how? I drive to every free place that giving out a gift. Me and my baby's gonna be there. Easter, we did Easter hunting. We went to I got a schedule from early. I sat down and they had Easter hunts from 10 a.m. to like 6 p.m. We went to all.
She needs to be on my mommy on a budget show. Because
Yeah.
even the people who have jobs, we still budgeting. You know what I mean? Whatever free be on it. But that is beautiful. I absolutely love that. What about you, Shannon? What was your biggest challenge? Changing or transitioning from your marriage too? I mean, because you're still married
Yeah.
legally,
Yeah.
but you know, what has been the biggest challenge for
I
you?
would say having to learn Shanda while being a mother.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, having to learn me, having to relearn me. Because now I have to now not react or react towards them for my anger,
Yeah,
for my
emotions.
frustration.
Yeah,
So and that was very hard. Yeah. Very hard. So the situation was fresh. They were very, very young, yeah, much younger. And they were like twins. Like a lot of people call them twins.
Yeah.
They're a year, 8 months apart. And with that, when one cried, the other one right after. And that was frustrating to say the least.
yeah,
So it was like emotionally tugging, trying to I saw myself like physically saw myself I had to put my children in the front row as I go in the room crying and go literally speak sometimes. It was horrible. It was really bad. So I would say trying to find me or relearn me while still being a mother, not just them, but to my at the time my teenage brother. Because I had him when he was 10 and he's currently 15 now, that's 5 years. I had him before I had my baby. So it was a lot.
what about in your healing process? What has been the most helpful um thing that has kept you going? And
That's my main
what are your specific strategies that you women who are listening now could say, I want to do what Shanta does, or maybe
For me, I made it my business to every evening of my kids' bed. I would turn on worship music, my living room, turn on worship music, and I would take quality time to talk to God. When I say talk, I don't even know, oh Heavenly Father. I talk to him like, hey, I frustrated,
Yeah.
I'm tired, I pissed off, I need you to come to me like as we speak. I spoke to him for my brokenness. I spoke to him where I was at that time. And I think because God saw where I was so desperate for him and his need, he came to me as I wasn't expecting. Like literally there's a particular lady, I don't know who this woman is, I don't know this woman's name, I don't know this woman's face. But this woman, she sends funds to me and it's nothing less than $100 every so often. And she sends funds to me through one of my neighbors. She sends it through an envelope. She said, someone told me to bless you with it. And she don't send food, she sends flies, she sends groceries from end of last day or last day or she started it. I don't know who this woman is. And God just found a way to make a way.
yeah,
So I would always say my thought was always God. And eventually went on to um listen to these two men on YouTube, Tony Gaskins Jr. and Pastor R.C. Blake, lifesavers.
Yeah.
And at the time of me going through what I was going through with their dad, Tony Gaskins is like he was literally speaking to my situation as I was going through it. So with him speaking to it, it made it more realistic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And to also feel, okay, now he's teaching me from a man's perspective how to come out of it. Or it was so weird that honestly, I told God, I said, Lord, if this isn't, and it still might sound weird, but I know this isn't for me because all these negative things happening. I said, Lord, if this isn't for me, let this man, when I listen to this video, let him say X, Y, and Z. And no joke, he said X, Y, and Z. I said, okay, sir, I gotta go. And then eventually God started showing me different signs, some different confirmations for that. So, okay, okay, what help you? And I said, yes, went by, yes, continue, confirm it. So that helped me. Long time.
What has been your most helpful in healing?
I have to say, gosh, I feel like we was repeat the same thing in different words. When I look at my kids to get dressed for school and I see they dress, I don't know how it happened. When I tell people I have a car, gas in them every day. I don't know how that happened. I just what I believe is with God, the Bible. I always believe is with our black community. We have we have taken down something from our slave owners with saying that talking is wrong. And for me, talking is what talking is. Just talking to anybody I see, because talking is healing. And when I talk, I heal. I speak to people and I actually reach out to them, and they just be like, you know what, help me. The other day I had to go and I live in the north at this point. I had to go do a protection order against myself. And I just was talking to them and telling them why, and the lady was just like, you know what, I got you. Because I don't know if you guys know, the court went triple up, not even triple, a million up on the prices. The fees were 65 cents and now there's $10 per. So just to do one thing is about $30 to $40, and I don't have it. And I'm like, I need to go to the court, but I don't have $40. I have $40 for my groceries. Yeah. So for me, talking has been my healing and just trusting and that is going to happen or when I speak now, a lot of people get angry, literally, when I speak because with our event coming up, the intentional, I was talking about it, and someone was like, "Y'all hear her? Y'all hear how she talking? How she gonna do this event if she don't work?" And she say she don't work. She say she going through all this, she doing these things. And I said, let me tell you something. Singing in sunshine is the first day we meet. Ain't got no money, but it's gonna happen.
Hold on, let's stop with that because I have some more questions, but I want us to talk on this on the radio portion because we're going to wrap up the video. But I want to talk about this event that y'all are having. Tell us about the event, please. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so we are having a woman empowerment brunch and I'm trying to like to say brunch and seminar with just what we know as being domestic violence victims is that you need a community. Yes, we always feel like we are alone, and the reason why a lot of us say too is because no one understands us. Even when you speak to some people, they like, "Girls, that's your husband, go make it work." And so, if you have a community where you can find someone who has a similar situation, yeah, you don't feel like you're the only one going through it, and you have someone to call on. And even like how Shani said, she had to put the children in the front room. You can say, "Hey, Anna, I really having a meltdown. Can you take the kids and something so forth?" And also, we wanted to educate and motivate these women to say, "Hey, this is a safe space. You can speak, you can scream. We have a portion where you're going to let it out. We want you to come, let it out. We want you to come and like community. We want you to come and get educated to say, hey, when you ask the questions, how did we do it? What was our situation? Extremities happened, and how are we surviving now? How are we feeling now?" And so when we came up with that, that's basically what we wanted. We wanted relax. I just post on Facebook today say you owe this to yourself. You owe yourself a day of relaxation and fun with people who are going through what you're going through. I don't even understand how relieving it is to talk to someone. It's going to be in our place, that space. It's in Palmdale, next to McDonald's. There's a plaza right next to McDonald's. Okay. You see the big sign on the door say our space. Yeah, at 2 to 5 on June 8th. June 8th. That's next week Saturday. Next week Saturday. Yes, come in at 2 o'clock. You have to we have the flyers. You can for Anna and what's your name on social media? They can find us. Rashana Mafi and Anna Carter, our flyers of that you have to pre-book. How much are the tickets? The tickets are $50. Okay. And it's a small space, it's limited, so we tell everybody come and secure your seats now. So that how are ticket sales now? The ticket sales are everybody is saying they're excited, but you know, but him and me like come in money talk. Yeah. All right, so that's what we're gonna do real quick. How many tickets you want to give away today? One ticket. One ticket. All right. Yeah, let's match. Let's triple that. Let your lane give you do one. Your lane gives three. And you all do that on your platform. So we closing up on radio portion. Plus they say to rate the phone down. But what I want to do is I want to donate 3 tickets. So someone that you know who need it and who may not be in the financial status or at the moment not budgeted to be a part of this. I want to be a blessing. So 2 on your platform, 2 on your platform. Let's make it happen. All right. Definitely, we want to make sure that they have a safe space. It's time for them. Let them breathe. Let them pour out. I hope you have a lot of Kleenex tissues there because I know this is going to be a crying moment. But I hope you all have huggers there because you know some people look just like professional huggers. I'm one of them, right? I have a friend. You can't tell me hugging in her ministry. You know, people start dance and singing and preaching. Hugging, when she hugs, you melt. Yeah. You literally melt. And there's a release. And she don't have to say anything. And she just hugs. And it's just so comforting. But I can tell you, we want to make sure that people are in the building. There are so many different questions I want to ask, but we want to wrap up on the radio portion. We're going to continue on the Facebook portion. All right. So I want to thank you so much, ladies, for just sharing and pouring. Y'all were just wonderful. You were resilient. You are just trailblazers. Because personally, and it's just me, maybe I'm limited, but I haven't seen many women
speaking out like that publicly here in our culture like that. That's just me.
Yeah.
So maybe other people are, but I just haven't come across that yet. Yeah, because we have this stigma that hey, if you say something, people are gonna talk about you, or you're gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah.
But then you do have some people, and I'm aware of this, and I'm cognizant of this, who are afraid to speak out because of sometimes the position in which their husbands play and their with where they are, their various platforms, and I know that it's a thing because in that regard, when speaking to wives, I hear that all the time. You have some pastors very renowned pastors who are doing some things that wives come to me about. And so I understand that. But I pray that these people come to this particular event that you are having so that they can find ways to wisdom, I should say, to be out, to get out. So while we wrap up on the radio, I want you to just speak to each one of you, speak to a woman who is listening right now, who's presently in this situation and they don't know what to do and they need to hear your voice. I'm gonna give each of you 1 minute.
Okay. So whatever situation you go, you have to you have to first find yourself because yourself is gonna be the only thing that's gonna really get you out of that. No matter what no one says, no matter what shows you watch, no matter what you do, it has to come from you and the strength has to come from you because you have to be so strong for this situation. So and it's always good, like I know there are a lot of people out there saying a lot of dumb things and you might feel like it's pushing you back. That's why we have this event coming on so that you could actually interact with more women so that you can have that advice and have that person to shoulder the cry on. Because although we are alone, we still need someone. So that would be like my thing. It's just like what Shonda said. You have to like take the time to try and find yourself within in your situation. And when you do, it's going to feel so amazing when you walk past that mirror and you look at yourself and you be like, you got it. You are it. You know? That is what you have to look for because that we don't understand how much that self-worth affects our domestic abuse situation.
Yeah.
And I just told my mom, we cause and this doesn't sound bad, but we cause whatever happens to us because we allow that energy, that person feeds off of the energy that we allow. We have to allow these things to happen. And if we have the self worth, we can, that's when we know that we can push away. We can say, hey, you know what? That's not for me. And we're okay with it.
Words.
I'll just think back of what was mentioned in regards to self-love. So what I would add to it is find Christ.
Yeah.
He's going to be a book to me. It works for me. Continues to work for me. The Bible says his strength is made perfect in our weakness.
Yeah.
When we're in domestic abuse relationships and the victims of the Bible trying to become the Bible through the strength. And that strength, the kind of strength that you need to overcome, it only comes from Christ.
Yeah.
There are going to be people in your space that's going to help, that's going to let it help them out. But the kind of pain, the kind of hurt, the kind of resentment eventually that you'll be holding within, that will eventually allow you to be bitter, allow you to be full of anger and rage. Only God can release you from it. It's only Him that can help you. It's only Him that can push you forward. It's only Him that can open doors. And it's only Him that can renew the broken version of you that you're currently looking at now. So we look back and say, now I see right after. Eventually, in an after you get to that point, we have to change our mindset in regards to how we see situations. In regards to when we move forward, we don't take the negative things what we experience and take it to the next level of our lives. Because that's only going to keep us back instead of moving us forward. It's going to keep us stagnant. And what I will leave to the people is understand that life doesn't happen necessarily to you. It happens to you to become, you to blossom, you to grow. For you to now look like the flower that God has called you to be, the beautiful, radiant person that God has called you to be in every aspect, to be the mother that the child is praying for, the child desires, to be the mother, to be the wife that husband is praying for, to be the friend that person they call on, to be that, to be the mother in a child's life that doesn't have the biological mother. God is preparing you and molding you just for that. So when you see you go through certain things, understand it isn't just for you, but it's for you to become better, but it's also for you to be the light in someone's dark thing. Come on. So use what you went through, become who you need to be, and help someone along the way.
I love that. Those were powerful. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. And that's Jeremiah 29:11. Listen to me. Like Shanda said, It's nothing is happening to you, it's happening for you. And sometimes, of course, we understand as women, we make decisions outside of the will of God. And sometimes we end up reaping some of the things that we sowed ourselves, and because of rebellion or because of our own selfish pride, which is fine, but God is so gracious enough to still keep us. He said, "If I made you make our bed, if we made our bed in hell, behold, I am with you." He's been keeping you regardless of the decisions that you made. He's still been keeping you. You're still here. You're alive to hear this message today. And we want you to know that all is well and all will be well. All right. So just a little thing. Of course, the ladies are going to tell you where to find them. They have different social media accounts.
So it's Anna Carter. My at is B3INGANNA. That's being Anna with a 3 in it. That's Instagram and TikTok as well as Facebook.
Shonda.
And for me on Facebook, it's Shonda Maxey. That's all one. FHANDA Maxey. And on TikTok, it's all about Shonda.
Okay. And if there's anyone else that may be thinking, okay, they're going so fast and I just want to get in contact with them, you can call this number 3768689. I'll be sure to direct the information over to them. If you want to be a part of this particular event that they're having on June 8th at next week Saturday at 2 p.m. at the space. Saturday coming.
Yes,
Saturday coming. Okay. Just you can reach out 3768689. I'll direct you to them. They have the tickets, not me. Okay. They're gonna have the tickets, and they would want to welcome you. And I'm most certain that it's gonna ensure that the space is safe, and you'll be able to be as transparent as you desire. All right. So thank you so much for our radio listeners for tuning in. Next week will be my 100th episode. The topic for that show is Worship in Motion, Celebrating Dance Ministry. That's because that's one of the ministries that I am in. Whenever I find myself in a low place, I just put on the music and worship in dance. And this is what I give back to God privately and publicly. So we're definitely going to have, this is for all the dance leaders, the dance teams, if you know of any in your churches and ministries, people who want to dance, people who can dance, but they are even worshipers at large. I want you to tune in because the guests that I'm going to have on the show, they're going to talk about what worship is, what it means, how the different colors of what God sees as symbolic, etc. So you do not want to miss that show. We're going to start from the history straight up to where we are now. Of course, talking about what's going on in these churches, but sometimes these people just doing all kind of hip hop things, but don't make no sense, and then they're giving it back to God and using secular music to say we're going to give it back to God. That's another story. So before we end the show, if you're a woman or man who just came out of an abusive relationship and you need help with figuring out what is next for your life, how to move on, you're simply looking for a trusted professional to vent. Because yes, I've had people who just paid me just to vent. They do that, all right, which is fine because you can't. Most people don't trust people at times, especially when you in in a higher position, a renowned person in our country. All right, so definitely you can go to my website www.yourlanelifecoaching.com, or you can give me a call 3768689. I would be delighted to help you with coaching you from where you are to where you want to be, because this is a serious thing. Most people try to do it on their own. Some people get it, but some people don't. And in most cases, especially if you just starting a relationship with God, or you don't have a relationship with God, it's like everything is just puzzling for you. And so this is where I come in. I go against with what Shanda's her ex-husband, no, not even ex-husband, whatever, the relationship that she had, a strange husband, and said that if you have God, you don't need a therapist. That's a lie. Okay, because God literally blessed professions like this so that we can help with wisdom and strength and direction to where you need to go. All right, so you definitely want to reach out www.yourlanelifecoaching.com or call the number 3768689 if you need coaching in that area. Thank you to our sponsors, Your Lane sponsors, the Perfume Bar, John Shoe Store and Accessories, Your Lane Life Coaching, Chef Royal D Spaghetti, obviously delicious, secretly nutritious, distributed by Asa H. Pritchard, Hellman's Mayonnaise, bring out the best, make taste, not waste, distributed by Asa H. Pritchard, and Libby's Vienna Sausages, distributed by Asa H. Pritchard. To the businesses out there, if you wish to sponsor Your Lane Talk Show, You can give us a call, 376-8689. We have awesome packages to suit your budget. Thank you, DZ, for holding it down as always. Odessa's not here, but we do have my friend Tommy, who's in the building, all the way from Atlanta, coming over to assist, and she's done so well. Thank you so much, Tommy, for doing what you're doing. To my continued listening audience and first time listeners, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. Please don't be selfish and keep this show to yourself. There is someone you know, and guess what? Sometimes you don't even know. You know, sometimes you don't even know what people are going through. If you look at these ladies right now, nothing on them said they're going through things. Nothing on Anna says that she's not working. Nothing. On her face beat. All right, I want y'all to know. But people are going through things. Be careful how you treat people. The people walking the streets on a timer, a bomb. Like you throw, you know those cartoons when you throw like the little bell on and be careful of how you treat people, okay? Be careful. All right, so if you want to follow the page, go to Your Lane Life Coaching on Facebook to get all of the updates and goodies from the show. Go to Coach Trish Hannah on YouTube so you can watch our previous shows. Please like and subscribe. I pray that you were all empowered, educated, and encouraged today. And until next time, have a blessed Sunday. God bless you. Enjoy your Sunday. So before we continue on the Facebook, there's a question that there's a input that says, I was in a relationship where my boyfriend didn't want me to have any contact with the opposite sex. One day he saw me walking to the bus stop with a male classmate, college, and he pulls a gun on me. I was scared as hell. So these things happen from relationship time. Even before you say I do, there's lots of abuse in our relationship. So there was another question that I have for you all, and then we're gonna wrap up. Sorry? Yes, you still need the mic, right? StreamYard, yeah. All right. How has your experience shaped your outlook on life and relationships moving forward? Do you see yourself in another relationship, or have you been in another relationship since then?
No, I have not been in another relationship because I feel like if you hear Shanta and I spoke stories, the common thing about it is the fed upness of the relationship. And I feel like as an adult, now being a adult woman and knowing what I want, and this is the thing that I tell a lot of women, like Shanta said, I think both of us said, take the time to learn who you are. And for me, I love traditions that make sense.
Yeah.
I like old traditions, and courting is one of them.
Yeah.
But that's how Bridget is. And so I believe that we should take the time to be friends with someone, learn who they are, and see if their goals match who we are before we decide to say jumping into something. I have kids. I don't want other things to happen because a lot of us, the culture has so many toxicity in it that we think is normal. Like I just told someone the other day, I don't believe in raising your voice in a relationship because we can conversate, we're adults, we can speak transparently, baby, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
So for you to allow it to get to the point, I don't want to date you. She said, I'm going to be alone. I said, I prefer to be alone with my children than to allow any negativity in our lives. So in that aspect, I've learned what I want, and having standards in this generation is frowned upon.
Yeah.
Okay, the men are, we call it the Saxon and apocalypse. they if you have standards, they're like, oh, you're gonna be alone, da 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 da. You're not gonna find a man. I do find you do end up finding men that match it, but hey, I have 2 children, I'm still married.
Yeah,
you understand? Like there was a guy, he wanted a wife. I cannot be a wife. Yeah, right. So situations like that, you're still gonna find people, but they might match you completely, but you just wait. The thing is, what happens if you need anything from our relationship is take your time to get to know that person and know who and know who you know, get to know yourself first, and then get to know if you can. And one of the things I love to teach is you cannot love anybody until you love yourself.
come on.
Until you know how to love yourself. If someone asks you a question about what do you love, you should be able to spurt off the things that you require and love in a relationship. And even if I'm party or talking to somebody and I ask you, what do you want? You're like, I don't want you. You're not doing enough for me. You understand? You
And
have
just
to
move
know
on.
exactly. You want, and this is the thing that I tell everybody that I'm searching for. To be loved correctly. That is literally the cheapest thing to have. I have nothing with finances or anything.
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum is respect, love, to be loved correctly, to be comfortable in that relationship and not fall back and not like for me, I overthink like what she says. A person who reassures you, a person who takes the time to learn who you are.
Yeah.
And so in this day and time, it's like you have to filter out.
God have mercy. But he's out there though. He's praying for you.
So your question was if I do still want, I do still want love, I still find it, yes. I don't have a problem with it. It's just that I'm not going to rush into anything.
Do you think that you're healed or you're still healing?
I'm healed because the thing is, I think one of my friends posted my husband posted something recently, and they always come to me because I don't want to see anything. And she said, she's like, oh, I hate when they destroy your life and then they want to be happy. And I laughed. And I said, you know how healed and how strong you have to be genuinely happy for somebody that did something to you. I am genuinely happy that he, even though he's not living his truth, he's living his truth in a way. He's happy with his partner that he's with. I'm genuinely happy for him. I'm genuinely happy that his business is growing because I was one of the biggest supporters. I was like, hey, you need to get into this, you're good at it. So when I see him, I genuinely am happy, but I had to have self-worth in myself to know that I need to stay over here.
Yeah.
We don't match. I'm going to keep my distance from some
Stay in your
people.
lane.
I'm going to stay in my lane.
Okay. So it's not.
And that's for everyone
Everything.
in my life. You have to learn when to say, you know what, and like we say, self-love isn't selfish. People keep thinking, oh, I'm doing this for me. No, it's not. It's just knowing what you're going to allow in your life.
Boundaries.
And so boundaries. I just finished a book on boundaries, and it's just teaching you like loving yourself. So I'm happy. Someone said, what do you say something good about Josh? What do you say? That man is fine. He still looks good. And you need to be able to say that and be able to do that. That's healed.
Yeah.
But just knowing that, hey, I have to protect myself is the key thing because you said something earlier. I am healed, but I am still incomplete here. Because I am speaking up.
Yeah.
And the first thing and one of the things that I try to tell people is don't get mad at when someone comes to me and they tell me they don't want to sorry, I say, that's fine. That's good. Because you come to me to step. Because in order for me to actually speak up, I had to accept that. And people don't understand that.
No, hold on. That's serious, you know.
Yeah.
That is serious.
No, I told them that. I said,
Yeah.
you know how, because we were talking about domestic abuse a lot the other day, and I was like, you think this easy?
Exactly.
When I went to go press charges on my husband, when I went to go get a protection order, I had to accept because the problem why we don't speak up as women is because we are so afraid of the threat because we saw it happen. We saw that it's capable of being.
Yeah.
I still have a gun every day.
Yeah.
He already showed me it and everything.
Yeah.
So you already see that it's capable and it's possible. And the reason why I said it was because of Haverly. Haverly was right. I heard gunshot. I heard the silence. I did not sleep that night because I cried because I said that could have been me. And that's when I went to get my protection order. And so I had to say, you know what? I'm going to fight for me. But it's a possibility that I can die. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather die fighting than to die and no one really know my story. And that's one of the reasons why I speak up now on my platform. Is because you're gonna know what happened. When Haverly died, we speculate, we don't know nothing. All we know is he shoot up a house one time. But we don't know specifically what happened.
Yeah.
And so what I said was I'm doing this because there's other women out there that have been through it. So I'm speaking up because I gave up on justice for me. I gave up on that because the commissioner already called me. I didn't know nothing. So I gave up on that, and like I said, my ministry, my purpose in life is to take the. I wrote this down on my phone. I was like, find the positivity in everything, and that's what keeps me. No matter what happened, I rubbish into the garbage, and I'd be like, oh, I use this code. That's my analogy. Like, so everything in life is just finding that positive in that. That's what I do now on this platform. It's just to basically say, hey, this is what happened. but this is what it is, and what to look for in the situation for that person being mental. Because mental health, I'm a big advocate of mental health. Mental health is so strong, and we as communities, with Black people on the whole, we always say, well, that's just her. But she's probably bipolar, she's probably schizophrenic, certain things that we look for in these people instead of just saying covering up with that's just them.
Yeah. Shonda, what are your thoughts?
Good question.
I forgot my question.
Healed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the best relationship.
No, we're talking about you healing. Are you healed? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would say,
What has been the most helpful in your healing process?
I think I'm not really good question.
No, that's not what we asked. We asked about relationships. That's what it.
Right.
Has your experience shaped your outlook? How has your experience shaped your outlook on life and relationships moving forward? That's the question.
Yeah, I know that's a relationship. What I would say is, like I just mentioned, because I've learned self, because I know what I want now, because I found purpose in the whole life. And in regards to having conversation with the opposite sex. Because obviously you have a conversation with individuals or other males or whatever happens. But in the middle of conversation, for me, I'm a very intellectual person. And it might sound weird, or not weird, but yeah, if the individual who I'm speaking to cannot be intellect, I cannot speak with you too long. Because look, it's only so far a conversation can go. I could run on, I promise you. Well, and when I say run on, it isn't like empty words. By the time I finish talking, you need to be filled with something from some aspect, right? So if I cannot receive that in return from you, the thing will make no sense. Because I know my purpose in life, what God is calling me to, you're going to have to be a strong individual to continue who I am. I'm not going to boast for them.
No. You just see me smiling. I boasted.
Right? Because like, I know my environment, I know my work, I know where God's taking me based on what He told me, based on how doors are opening for me. The individual God has to be strong enough to continue what I'm carrying, and vice versa. I know I'm powerful. In the midst of my weaknesses, I am powerful. So that individual has to align. He has to come into something. And not just to align with me. I'm not just too much. Like I don't call my brother as my child. So that individual has to be willing to not just accept me, but accept my babies and love them as much as if they're his own. So that's everything for me.
Someone says, don't hide the views. Tell someone, talk about it so others are aware of what you're going through. Someone will help you. Pray until your breakthrough comes through. Amen. Thank you for that. Ladies, y'all look, listen, y'all are beautiful. Y'all are intelligent. And I can see your work. I can't see the future, but I could see that God, just like as you said, God is opening up doors for you. Eyes have not seen, neither have ears heard. You can't even fathom the plans and the things that God has for both of you. Get ready. Stay in God though. Hear from Him. All right. Stay in the Word of God. Be able to, when you recite, you reciting wisdom from His Word. That's important. Okay. All will be well. Everything that whatever He placed in your heart, every vision will be provided for. So don't worry about where it's coming from. Don't worry about who coming and who ain't coming. Everyone that is called for your voices will hear your voice. Stop for looking for a sheet to cover me up. All right, so we're gonna stop here because there's so much. Y'all are so beautiful. I mean, internally and externally, but I'm talking more the internal part of you too, and where you came from, and the fact that you're not ashamed to talk about it, and the fact that you desire for other women to get out. It's like I see like the vision was you holding your hand like this, and then pulling other women out.
Standing in the gap.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you being the voices of people who can't even hear.
Hold on to the he said, hey, you can come, you can say what we got you.
Woo, child. Come, let's go. All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone on Facebook. God bless you. And of course, this show will be uploaded tomorrow, God's willing, for those who want to watch it on YouTube. Blessings and have a beautiful